Good evening, wherever you're watching from. I hope you'll be able to adjust to the program and join me to see what is going around Australia, Africa, Nigeria, and the world. So today's program will be very sensitive. I just say if there's any way the program touch you, I just feel you seek counsel and talk to someone that will, give you a reassurance to reassure you. Today's program will mainly focus on the celebration of Biafran war heroes on 30th of May. Also, before doing that, I will touch up with some things happening around Australia. Last week, I wasn't here because we celebrated a wonderful lady. The video is coming out soon, Miss Vicky Mifalaji, and it was nice. And I thank everyone that calling to see that celebration went well. I enjoyed it, and I know many people will enjoy it too. So, guys, if you're watching down, today as we come, it's a day of joy. It's a day that we know that even our forefathers, they think about it. Personally, what the topic I'm about to discuss today, personally, is something close to my heart because my dad was once involved in things like this. And again, it's not only that they have this thing in their heart, they want a good nation for their children, a nation that have a polity, a nation that people can grow up and be whatever they want to be, a nation that you don't need to take risk, in order to go and have a better life. Like some people that goes, to take risks. They see some of them survive, some of them didn't survive. So this is not the vision of those people. They want a nation that their children can come up and be able to achieve great things. That's why they fought Biafra. I encourage you, while I'm not going to detail why the Biafra war was fought, you can actually go to YouTube or read why Biafra war was fought. So that would be your own assignment to do. So I hope that you guys also can take the time to know why did they fight Biafra war. Okay, so I'm not going to go into the detail here, so you can watch that and by yourself and see why the Biafra war was fought. So before we go into that, like me, I always like to play some music. So let's get to this music. This is a very nice guy. I so much enjoy his music. So you can join me and enjoy his music before I continue. Anyway, let me play his music. It's an Igbo music. Okay, why this music? I don't own it. Why I don't own the right of that music? What? I'll just ask you guys to, if you want to play more of this music, you can go out and join and watch the music by yourself. It's very nice music. It's a music that I enjoy so much. So today we are looking into Biafran struggle, and we'll go into detail and things that happen. So I hope you guys will have a time to do it. This is things that I know many people will be touched by what happened to Biafrans. This is something that the Western world, they are not able to see. Unless you are from that part of Nigeria, even many of people that come back from Nigeria, Igbo, Hausa, and Yoruba, they seem to turn ignorant about that. We have a lot of children, history students who have written a lot of assignments. Even we have professors in history, like Wale Shirenka, all those guys, professor of literature, they have not sit down and compose and get us the full detail on what happened during Biafran War. It's a hidden story. It's not a story that the Western world are very happy to share. It's not a story that UK will be very enticed. It will not be good for UK profile. It will not be good in American profile. So the idea is to keep this thing hidden. But the truth is that a lot of people still feel the pains of what happened during the war. Come on, I'm sorry. I think I'm sorry can do a lot of things in reviving people. But if you keep keeping it that way, the story keep going. I can encourage. Welcome, madam. So today I will be getting into that program today. Like I just say, I'll be getting into that program today. I'm telling you, it's a dark day for our people. It's a dark day that people hard to forget. The problem that we face is that when we refuse to recognize history, we continue to make similar mistake. But when we recognize history and be able to say, I'm sorry, then it can go a long way to heal wound. I know the Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth II, is about to celebrate her jubilee. I think it would be worthy for her to map out a time to address this and say, I'm sorry. Because a lot of people have still pain. Many people who still lost, loved ones, lost family, and they still wonder about it. They still want to hear the truth. They still want people to be accountable on what they do. We can't move forward when these things are still in the heart of many. Many lost their life. Many lost their uncle. Your father may tell you a story how your uncle was, brutally murdered, or how your siblings, their siblings were brutally stabbed to death. Kwashoko was a common thing during that time. At the end of the day, Biafran was, given little to survive. But today they have arisen so much. History does not mean, history does not mean that people will not move on. If you're afraid to tell the history, you will live to regret it. As a man, as a mother, as a father, you can sometimes tell your child how you came to be. If you're a wealthy man, you can sometimes tell your child how you make your money, how you make your living, how you get to where you are today. That gives your child courage to know that my father have taken a lot of responsibility to bring me here, and that child will, not make mistake. But when you refuse to do that, your child will probably continue to make the same mistake. So, guys, for a minute to listen to this Ochuku, which is the Biafran, or the Biafran leader, the founder of Biafra, or the main men, the main heroes behind Biafran War. I'll just let you listen to them. Before I continue, Mohammed, it's a tell the history, but say the truth first, and the framework is what is meaning. Yeah, bro. The history is always there for us to research. I thank God that you are a very learned guy. You're a lawyer, a professional, but Mohammed, you can also look at the history. We cannot hide the history, man. I'm not here to be bias-minded. I'm just here to just say it as it is. Because what we say today, children may come up in near future and get those and extract some of our words here. So I have to be very careful in order not to give next generation a wrong information. Therefore, I will be very, very honest to say it as it is, not because I'm from that area or because I'm not from that area. But let history remain. The pens always remain. We shouldn't hide on history. We shouldn't tell it. Nigerians will always want to tell in our own way, in our own favor. Or when we stand and tell the truth, yes, it may be painful, but let's accept the truth. That's why the country is not progressing, because everybody's telling the story to favor them or to make themselves look good. But when you say it as it is, then the next generation will learn big timely. This guy is, you could know good himself. As addressing his Biafran,
Today
soldiers.
I stand before you proud to be a servant of such a heroic people. Today I stand before you to proclaim that our heroic youth in the various fronts have turned the tide of this war. They have smashed all enemy offensives directed at our destruction. In the air, they have destroyed systematically the sinews of Nigeria's military might. The Biafran Air Force, small as it is, has stopped the entire oil flow of Nigeria from the mainland world. All protestations to the contrary by the British Broadcasting Corporation and Harold Wilson are mere wishful thinking. Our gallant boys are men tempered of steel. They have wrested the initiative from the Gawan enemy, and the Nigerian hordes are in trepidation and on the point of rout. The confusion of the enemy in the battlefields is only matched by the confusion in his home. Fight on, brave boys, fight on, heroes of our fatherland. Pursue the enemy, harass him, destroy the invader. March on, brave boys, now that victory is in sight. March on and hasten the disintegration of the enemy already set in motion. March on, young men, beloved in heaven, march on.
So guys, like Ojukwu was saying here, is kind of, encourages Biafra members to be able to continue to move on while the Nigerian soldier is pressing them by. This guy is fighting in a situation that he did not call for. It's something that the Nigerian government could have done better in order to stop the killing of his people in the northern side lead to this war. And when you talk about the main guy, because they are killing, if you have to go, the guy is not actually Igbo, because it's from the south side, although they classify them as southeast or today. What happened? Biafrans have to suffer for the consequence of what they have not done. Since then, since 1967 to date, Nigeria have not addressed this issue. Because of this issue, we see the rise of IPOP. We see the rise of MASOP. From MASOP to IPOP, we see the rise of different organizations trying to, to reinstate the same thing. Why? Because we refuse, even in Nigerian schools, they refuse to tell children the history of Biafra. So everybody goes in there to extract whatever they think that is the history of the country. They extract whatever their father may tell them in order to suit their own, IQ or suit their own goals or suit their own, defense. But nobody have come out to, to tell us this is how it happened. Funny enough that we have an elderly kingsman who happened to be Gowon still living. To date, Gowon have not openly told people what transpired between him and Odumegwu Ojukwu. It's a shame that this keep lingering. And when it keep lingering, the spirit of the youths keep getting up. This is not something that will stop today, unless that the people of Nigeria come out to own it, unless that the government of Nigeria come out to say this is how it happens. And everybody, the Igbos, will come and say, no, it does not happen this way. Yorubas say, no, it happened this way. They tell it as it is. That's how the heart will heal. So what happened last week, again, they spent time. A person who killed Adakaboro when he declared Niger Delta Republic, Ojukwu fought Adakaboro and killed him. No, Ojukwu did not kill Adakaboro. Adakaboro, that's, you see, Mohammed, you see, that's why when we talk about history, I'm very sorry for you to say this. when you talk about history, see, I think you probably tell people this history, they will think that what you are saying here is the reality. Totally wrong. Ojukwu did not kill Adakaboro. Even the Niger Delta today may tell you that we are not sure how Adakaboro happened. But Adakaboro, I tell you, may be attacked by Nigerian soldiers because there is possibility of that. When you look at what happened to Sarawiwa, what happened to Sarawiwa will be the same thing that happened to Adakaboro. So we should be very, very careful in our history sometimes. You are telling in order to suit your own side, but that's not true. We just have to. Niger Delta will tell you today that they are not sure who killed Adakaboro. Yes, Ojukwu plays a role. Ojukwu did not play direct role when Adakaboro declared Niger Delta. You know, the Niger Delta, then Nigeria was maybe like probably 3 years or 4 years when that happened, or 2 years when that happened. It was getting their independently. So we should not just classify that, you see, say, for Adakaboro and kill him. After some years, he came with his own criminality called Biafra. Biafra. You see, history will always remind us that, when we tell some things, we just have to be careful. Because when you don't get it right, you may influence the generation and waste a lot of life. That's why today it doesn't matter both Hausa, both Igbos. A lot of youth have died in this war called Biafra because the history is not being told properly. You know? Everybody can come and conquer his own history. The Fulani, the Hausas may come and conquer their own history to suit them. Igbos can come and conquer the history to suit them. Yorubas can come and conquer the history to suit them. But what is the reality? The reality is that the British government was very influential in the starvation of millions of Biafra children of Oshoka. The Americans were very influential in the starvation of these people. They have their foot soldiers fighting the Biafran war as if, I know they try to defend their new nation, the communism, but the truth is that what they have done have created problem upon problem for years that generation upon generation are still battling for it. We can't hide history for all generation. We have to come at a time and say, I'm glad that Queen Elizabeth, she's fully aware of this history because she is 95 years old now. And the fight of Biafra is probably around 90, I would say maybe Biafra war now is about 52 years old. So Queen Elizabeth is fully aware of that Biafran war. She can come and do better by telling the people the reality, what happened during the Biafra war. If she can do that, then that will save a lot of things. But if she keep hiding it and refuse to tell the truth, then let's keep watching. But a lot of lives are going every day because the Queen have not come out. UK Parliament have not come out and acknowledged the wrongdoing. A lot of lives have gone. A lot of people have gone. A lot of money, properties, people fighting, back and front just to make this thing work. We have to begin to talk about this thing. Each year Biafrans celebrate this, and each year they celebrate their memorial service. A lot of spirit is woken because people will be asking, what are they celebrating? They tell them that these people are celebrating the killing of their people. If you are very human being, we have places like Togo, we have even Singapore that is not up to 10 million people. We have places like Australia that is not up to 30 million people. Then why can't the nation divide so that lives will preserve life and they can work on a common relationship to live? Today, a lot of people have come to declare that we are Biafrans, we want Biafra. The Northerners say no. Even some Northerners are getting sick and tired of Biafra himself and say, let the Biafrans go. But still, the people say no. They keep holding Biafra. Why are we doing this? Why do we prefer to kill lives in order to preserve our own image, to preserve our greediness? It is time that people begin to talk it. If we talk that many Nigerians want Biafra, you go on plebiscite, you go on referendum, then what you prove people wrong that you see what people want Biafra. or people want one Nigeria. If you think that Biafra is a fraud, you bring a plebiscite. You put it there for people to make their choice. If they win, let's go for it. If they don't win, then you guys should separate. But lives are lost. When you go to many communities now in Igbo land, even of Olo, all the Eastern people, each day they got somebody killed. And those people they are killing today may be doctors. They may be people that may have answers to the world we live in. But what? Out of ignorance, out of selfish interest, we are wasting these people. During the Biafra War, a lot of pregnant women die on starvation. A lot of young children were starved to death. In the streets of Biafra, people were crying, seeing their loved one die. This does not affect the Western world. This does not affect the UK. They keep supply equipment, the war weapon to Nigerian government in order to eliminate their own people. Stupidly, Nigerian government pulling triggers to their own fellow Biafran brothers and sisters. You know, we have to begin to ask, I'm not here to support Biafra or not. People can vote. What you like may not be what I like. In types of Islam's area, they always want to have their Sharia law and things like that. Why can't you have that in a nation where you can think of having your Sharia law and people can practice together? All this is something that we need to sit down and begin to analyze. The memorial service of Biafrans, one day it will be a big gunshot to all Biafrans in Biafra everywhere in the world. You see, today Biafrans are celebrating it. Today you hardly see a proud man with Nigerian flag. You hardly see any proud man with Nigerian flag. You rather see them with Biafran flag. And these people that you are seeing today, they are the people once promoting Nigeria image. So the image of Nigeria is no more sellable. The image of Biafra is everywhere. You believe it or not. Nigerian flag, if you ask somebody where you come from, the person have to look around. If there's any black person, you have to look around to see the mood. If the person is a Biafran supporter, before he can tell you I'm a Nigerian or I'm not a Nigerian, to me tell you I'm not a Nigerian. So the image of the country is already come. What we are talking now is how to put things together. I know the election is coming up, which I see, kind of a bit watching what is going on. But we have to come to a time that we need to sit down and put this together. This is the thing that happened, because for things to heal, you must say I'm sorry. If you find it difficult to say I'm sorry, then there is a problem. You will always have problem in your life. Nigerian government have not sit down with the Igbos, say, listen, this is what happened. Buhari is fully aware what's happened in Biafran war. These guys want to go to grave with the truth. Is that not a shame? That's why I like the Western world. After things happen, they will interview the masterminded people. They will say their own part of the story, just for future, just for children to learn. That's why the Western progress today. It doesn't matter. They have nothing to lose again. They will sit down and even some of them, they will sit down and write a book on what happened, give full account, and the account again will be tested. Not somebody just to say jargon, We have missed it. And the ones alive will still keep. Nobody, all these people, journalists, documentarists, nobody has taken the time to go and press these people. And government, by law, could have given these people permission to say what happened. It will be on record. That will help the generation to make choice, either to continue to do some similar thing again, or to say, no, we can't live on this way. We have to come at a time that we have to say that our nation, people need healings. And that healing is something that we all have to join hands and begin to talk about. The spirit of those that die today may have consequence on many people in Nigeria today. It may have consequence on the life people are living today. It may have consequence why the country is going backward. The country is not moving forward because nobody have come to speak the truth. Somebody can ask whoever that went to Biafra war, he can tell me some version of the story. Maybe he will tell me how he never tell me the exact truth. And the truth remain on people that we are. So today, as we are celebrating this and reminding people about the Biafran War, it's time for us to sit down and ask ourselves a question. Does it worth it again? Why can't those leaders come out and celebrate and tell people what happened? Why is Biafran War not in the history? Why have United States never come out or British came out and state what they did and what they didn't do in Biafran War, if they are honest? This is something that we all have to sit down and ask. Why can't we go our separate way if that's the case and find a common ground to build international relationship like we have with Ghana, we have with Togo? Why constantly we shed blood in the country? Why constantly we shed blood in the country? Why can't we just forget about all these and focus on how to build each other? The country, each youth that the blood is shed each day is somebody's daughter, is somebody's son that have been here for 9 years. About 3 to 5 million people killed during the Biafra War. Wasn't it good? How can we live each day and sleep knowing that we have fought and pour away a lot of blood in that country? How do you think the country will progress? It can't just heal that way. People need to take responsibility. People need to be held accountable. I advise, I'll tell you a story. In Australia, they have similar thing where the Caucasian deal with a lot of Aboriginals in order to take this country. But that thing was making around many Aboriginals until Kevin Rudd came up and said, I'm sorry. That's a very famous one. Kevin Rudd today, that earns him dignity, that earns him a lot of honor because he came out and said, I'm sorry. For you to say, I'm sorry, it goes a long way to heal heart. A broken heart, an injured heart, once you say, I'm sorry, I think they will find a way to pause for a minute and say, if you can say, I'm sorry, they will begin to think how we can help out. The Biafran War is something that we have not acknowledged. And you keep holding it. Buhari may not have more than 5 years more to live or 6 years more to live. Queen Elizabeth, she may not have more than 5 to 10 years to live. But she also needs, she is fully aware that the grievance of the people of Biafra is still real, it's still fresh in their heart. Because there's no people that gather intelligence like the UK and America. They know all that is happening in Nigeria. For the one they refuse to speak, don't forget, they know, it's not that they didn't know, they know vividly that everything, this is what is happening in that country. Any country that have embassy in your country, they are fully aware on what is happening on grassroots of that country. That's why they have the embassies, in order to extract information, supplying their people information and making it safer for their people. That's why they have embassy here. So the Queen of England have been totally informed that the mess UK caused in Nigeria is what is killing people today. That's why you have Biafra and some people are looking for Judua. So we have to wake up. We have to wake up and begin to ask questions why this is not in history. For those in university studying history, it will be a good place for you to look onto. I know the government may try to, shut you down. Nnamdi Kanu, went abroad and started studying about the Biafran history. Out of annoyance and pain, he went back to this. He said, my people need to be free. That Biafra is the way, because Nigeria is just like that. It's not functioning. You can't function when you cannot say, I'm sorry. We have to wake up and begin to ask ourselves questions. I'm just saying this because many of us think, oh yeah, it's just Biafra. Whether you're Yoruba, the whole thing is affecting everybody in the country. It is time for Yoruba. It is time for you to do research about the history of the country you're in. I know what happened. Like I said, during this time, some of the few Biafrans, few Biafrans in UK, they went to, the British Prime Minister's office to submit a letter. Part of their letter is to ask the Queen Elizabeth to apologize and also to ask Nigerian government, with their own influence, to ask Nigerian government to open up a plebiscite or referendum for people to make their choice. They are not saying that we are going. They are asking that people should make choice, like we have democratic governments in the country. Let people independently make their choice whether to remain as one Nigeria or to move. They are not saying we're going. Now they can have no say and forcing people. This is just to ask people to leave or to stay. They make their choice. If worry the government think that people want to stay, then they can ask them people. You can't say people want to stay and you refuse to ask them. This is like forcing. It will not work. This country, it doesn't matter who you elect, it will continue this way. So during this, remembrance time, we use it to reflect. That's what I'm saying. If we tell history, time like this, you have to come out and tell the youth that this is why this war was fought. A lot of bloodshed happened in this country. We don't want to see things like this again. We hope new generation will continue to grow well. But when you don't tell the generation this, they begin to research on themselves. They'll get the wrong history, and wherever you lead them, so be it. So Nigerian government, I just try to expose a lot for you, how you can move and how you can work this out. It is very hard thing, but the people of Biafra each day thinks that the country have neglected them, that the country is not working for them, that the country is not giving them the opportunity they need, that the country see them as an ally. They want to leave from the country because the country refused to acknowledge the Biafra people, the people that makes the income of that country, people that hold that country. Because Biafrans have invested in all states in that Nigeria. There's nobody that invested in Nigeria like Biafrans, but yet they are getting nothing from it. So they want to leave. What can you do? We fought a war. You can actually come out and use the war to address issue, and people will know whether to support or not to support again. They will know the implication of war. Many people that are campaigning for Biafra today, we are not born there. Yet if we are not born, or they are just an infant when this happened. So it's time for us to come out and begin to expose this history. It's time to call Gowon out. Buhari, you guys should not go grave. It will be an idiotic of them to go to grave with this and leave their next generation dead and leave the next generation fighting each day. That's an African man. He doesn't care. He will go with it and die with it. That's Biafra wants to have a nation of their own. They wanted to establish the nation. So May 30th shows multitude of Biafras celebrating around the world, calling for their heroes to be recognized, calling for the independent state of Biafra, calling for the freedom of Nnamdi Kanu, who have risen up to carry this Biafra thing again. They are calling on those things. But they also give Nigerian government option that if you think that we are not speaking for majority, give each and every one of us the opportunity to vote and see what happens. Bring a plebiscite. If they say they all want Nigeria, we hands up. Majority win the vote, right? We hands up. In fact, I heard that they actually tell the government that if they don't win 75%, if it's like 55, 45, they will leave it. Even though they are winning, they will leave it. But if it's overwhelming 75%, yeah, the Nigerian government have not even called that today. Nnamdi Kanu that they are holding is not the problem of Nigeria. The problem of Nigeria is with Nigeria himself. Nigeria is living in denial. They have not taken time to speak on their miserable. They did not take time to speak on the things that have been creating disunity and dysfunction in the country. They keep running hater-skater. Even though you elect an Igbo man today, he cannot be able to do anything because the structure of Nigeria is a failure. The structure of people that's leading the country is a failure. So how can they be able to stand here? We need to ask ourselves, how do we come here? I was thinking that maybe after the war, maybe 10 years after the war, it's time to call for more calm national dialogue and this, not creating and fueling the same thing that leads to war. That's what we are fueling now. The same thing that leads to war. We are just failing. IPOP worldwide, they utilize this remembrance time to pay visit to many embassies to tell them their own grievances that we want to leave Nigeria. We don't want Nigeria again. We want to leave. It is a funny thing, but my father was, a war veteran for Biafra, and when he tells the story of his friend that were killed, your heart will be broken because that friend deserved to have his own family. The friend may be dreaming of having his own house. The friend may be dreaming of touring the world. But what happened? Because of barbaric nature of free black, their life was taken. A lot of Biafran children life is being taken daily by secret agents of Nigerian police or Nigerian security network. They will come and kidnap, and some of them will be tortured to death. Some of them will be killed in front of their family. How do we get to this extent? This Remembrance Day, we talk about the heroes.
By the share of states in Nigeria, they cut us.
I'll get you some things about it, brother. We talk about the heroes. Listen to what this brother was saying about Nigeria. Just listen. It was very interesting to hear him.
By the share of states in Nigeria, they cut us into pieces. They make us little. They now a station what they call minority commission. And this minority commission is the reason why they have been marginalizing us for so many years. And it is only 6 months that an Igbo man have stayed in that seat. Therefore, we are not asking for Igbo presidency. We don't need Igbo president for anything. We need secession. We need freedom.
We have been through terrible times, experiencing marginalization more than words can tell. And we begin to wonder if the situation we are passing through is fit for human beings or for animals in the zoo.
The Biafra led by Ojukwu was triggered by genocide that followed the 1966 coup. Today's Biafra is driven by grievances like unemployment and bad governance.
So you have seen what is driving this Biafra. The government have used this technique in order to hold the people of Biafra down, in order to stop the progressing of the Biafra. But what they succeed in doing is holding the nation down, because the people of Biafrans, they are the industrious people in the country. They are the people that can defend on themselves without hoping on government money or stealing from the government. It is a supernatural thing that God gave to the people of East. So Biafra, they will always remember. You see, every time any IPOP member speak, these people say they speak with power, because they know that what they want is just simple. They want to gain their Biafra. That Biafra, they don't believe that anything's working. So guys, every May 30th, we all bow down and honor those heroes that make a wonderful thing for us. Those heroes that bring things that we should not neglect. The heroes of our time. We just have to bless them. We have to thank them for the service they have done. We have to thank even the youth that are still involved in liberating the land, youth that are fighting day and night, making sure that the women that go to farm come back safely, making sure that our grandpa and grandma stay home safely, making sure that some of the property we left at home will come back to see them safely. We pray and ask God to continue to bless them and nourish them. We pray and ask God to anoint their way. We pray and ask God that their work, their labor will never be in vain. I thank you tonight for watching the Lawube program, and I hope those that will share this program later, you enjoy this program. And as I say, let's continue to remember both the past and the present Biafra heroes. God bless Biafra. I thank you so much for tonight's program that you have joined me to watch. It was a blessing for you to watch this. It becomes so emotional when I think about how many people that dies, what roles are we going to play. Consider that UK always say they are very high in human rights. Then I wonder where did the human rights went when these children are getting killed? How heartless can we be to watch our children, to watch our loved ones, to watch our fellow human beings starve to death? Why can't you guys press and ask everyone to go their way? If a husband and wife is no longer in agreement for marriage, they are allowed to divorce. That's simple. Then why didn't we, activate the act of divorce for these people? So I thank you so much. Stay safe.